in Convent Garden. Rich Londoners were leaving the Royal Opera House and walking across Convent Garden Square looking for taxis. Some of them stopped and stood talking together for a few minutes in front of St. Paul's Church. On one side of the square, near the church, a group of fruit and vegetable sellers were warming themselves around a small fire before they started their night's work at Convent Garden Market. Three street musicians were singing and dancing. Some of the crowd stopped to watch them. Shouts of "taxi, taxi" cut through the noise of the crowded and the icy night. Freddie Earlford Hugh, a rich-looking young man of about 20 years old, pushed his way through the crowd around the dancers. His mother was just behind him. They were looking for a taxi too. Suddenly, one of the dancers knocked into Freddie and he jumped back. But by mistake, he knocked over a younger woman, a flower seller at the market, and she dropped some of her flowers on the ground. That was how Freddie first met Eliza Doolittle.
Covent Garden. It's a big square. There are theaters, there's the Opera House, there's Covent Gardens itself. And in this big square in London, you had flower sellers because they wanted to sell people like Freddie's girlfriend flowers after the theater. There were fruit vendors and vegetable vendors. They were all around and they were dancing and they were having a nice time. But Freddie and his mother were pushing through to catch a taxi because it was raining, so taxis were harder to find. So they're going like this through everybody. And what happens? He knocks over a flower seller's basket of flowers. And her name is Eliza Doolittle. And she's the lady we're going to talk about the whole play. Eliza Doolittle is her name. All right, would you read now?
Yes, Eliza was then about 18 or 20 years old, and was not a very good-looking young woman. She was wearing a dirty little bag, had a not very clean white house, and old skirt and old shoes. She had not washed her hair for several days, and she clearly needed to visit a dentist.
So she was dirty, she wore dirty clothes, she had a dirty face, she hadn't washed in a long time, and she definitely had funny looking teeth. She had not brushed her teeth.
Eliza stood up quickly and looked angry at Freddie, then at her flowers lying on the ground.
You're not going to be able to say this. I should bring in my iPad. Ow! She shouted at him. The crowd turned to watch and to listen because she made a racket. She was a real Cockney. She met, ow, you! She just don't like. She didn't care who heard her or when. So if you're playing her at this point, you got to really be loud. Now, what does Freddie say?
I'm sorry, Freddie said, going back to in the first. and we tried to pick up some of the flowers. But it is went on rudely. There's 2 bunches of my flowers on the street now. A lot of money, that is. Why don't you look where you are going? She had a very strong London accent. But Fanny's mother had time for this young flower seller's province or later London accent. She just wants to get home. Go and find us a taxi, Freddie, she ordered him.
Now this is interesting. Let's read this again. But Freddie's mother had no time for this young flower seller's problems or her London accent. She just wanted to get home. Go find us a taxi, Freddie. You know what? The very tone, the very way the young girl speaks, the mother wanted no part of her. She doesn't deal with people who sound like that. Okay.
Sorry, mother, I'm going now. And he turned and disappeared through the crowd with another quick sorry to Lisa before he went. And Lisa to the older woman, so your son is he? Well, he's not. My flowers all over the ground, and now he's run away without paying. Freddie's mother gave a little sad and unpleasant look, turned away and followed her son thought, the crowd with her noise in the air.
How did she leave? Freddie's mother gave Eliza an unpleasant look, turning away and following her son through the crowd, and her nose in the air. She's just snubbing this little gutter snipe is what you would call it. Go on.